What up, what up, what up, everybody? How we doing? Okay, so I have a story that I want to tell, and it's going to make sense, I hope, at the end of this. But I wasn't looking for a job. I wasn't looking for a job, but I wasn't like totally not open to getting a job. I get, this was probably 2 weeks ago, I get a call from or an email from a recruiter from an actual institute. This wasn't a recruiter from a third party. It was a recruiter from an actual institute, right? And this recruiter said, "Hey, all your information," because I had my information on Indeed, just sitting there for public knowledge, basically. But anyway, she reached out and she was like, "Hey, your qualifications line up with what we're looking for. I'd like to set up a personal interview. I think you'd be a really good candidate for the position." So we set up a over the phone interview, and the interview goes. It was 30 minutes. I think it went over that, but it was set to be 30 minutes, and the interview went great, wonderful. Her and I went back and forth fluidly. Everything went wonderful. She tells me, she says, she's like, "Okay, well, and she's very nice, by the way. She's like, "Okay, we're still interviewing candidates for the position, so I'll let you know. You'll hear from me in 2 to 3 business days if you are moving on to another interview." I'm like, "Okay, great. Well, thank you for your time." 2 hours later, she calls. "Hey, really liked what you had to say. I'd like to move you to a personal interview with XYZ people." I'm like, "Great." So we scheduled that for the next week, which was last week. And anyway, so I haven't had an interview in like, I don't know, like 7 years. But I used to own a business, so I've interviewed people. Anyway, so I go and I buy some clothes, pants and a shirt, right? Collared shirt. I had a tie, but I had to buy new clothes because I've gained weight over the last 3 years. So a lot of the clothes that I have professionally do not fit me, right? So I had to buy something for the interview. So I go spend $130 on clothes. And anyway, I go to the interview. This was last week. And I meet 3 people in the interview. 2 are physically there. One's over Zoom. And the one over Zoom was the one asking me like the typical questions that someone would with an interview. Like, how have you ever responded to this or that? Or, but long story short, the interview went wonderful. I was totally 110% transparent with everything. Everything. I did not say anything about myself. I didn't talk a lot personally, just what was strict to the job, right? Or the opportunity, like I would say. The position. Did not call it a job. Anyway, the interview went wonderful between me and these 3 people. And when I go to leave, they say, "We'll let you know how everything pans out within the next week." I'm like, "Okay." So mind you, I drove 30 minutes to get, it was like 35 minutes to get there. So I leave and I drive 35 minutes back to my apartment, which I'm currently at. I go in my room and I change. And once I'm done changing, I see my phone ringing because it was on silent because it was. Anyway, my phone's ringing. It is those people from that institute who just interviewed me, and they're like, "We'd like to offer you a position." And I'm like, wow. Literally 40 to 50 minutes after I walked out, when I was told it was going to be, a week, 3 to 4 business days, whatever that means or looks like. So they offer me a position, and I accept. I'm like, "All right, great. what do I need to do? They say, well, we're going to send you an email for you to fill out an application for the opportunity, for the position. Because remind you, I did not apply. I didn't apply. A recruiter reached out to me. So I go through, long story short, I fill out the application, front and back, everything, just like I was told to do, right? And I'm told, okay, we got your application. We will be letting you know the next steps in the next week, which was earlier this week, right? Today's Tuesday, and I was told that on last Wednesday. So what's happened? I haven't heard a word. Now, I have called and I haven't got a response. I've emailed and I haven't got a response. And I'm a critical thinker, so I do look at it like, okay, something happened somewhere. I did something wrong. I don't know what it is. I would like to know. And mind you, I didn't beat down their door trying to figure out what the next steps were. I've called twice and left 2 voicemails, sent 1 email. Okay? Having said that, I'm probably not going to get the job. It would have really benefited me financially, at least, to get the job, to obtain the opportunity, right? Who knows where it would have led? I don't know. And for all I know, I might still get the call, but I kind of see the writing on the wall. Is what it is. Having said that, the point in this video is that God works in very mysterious ways. I could sit here and I could go, darn it, I didn't get the job. Poor me, everything's, I'm just a victim and this and that. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to have that mentality, okay? I'm not. I look at it like it wasn't where I was supposed to go. God has a different plan for me, a different direction he wants me to go. This is just simply veering me in a different direction, right? That's how I look at it. And my advice to people would be, it's very, I struggle with this. It's very hard to always think positive. Like it is. I think we as humans, we're naturally geared to think negatively, at least initially. But we have to program, or at least I have to program myself to, when I feel those negative thoughts coming in, to rebound and go, no, how can it be positive? How could it be positive? So in this instance, I'm looking at me, from what I could tell, doing everything right and not getting the job. I'm not questioning it so much. I'm more so looking past it. Okay, that was a learning experience. Where do I go from here? That is my next move. We can choose to be negative, or we can choose to be positive. We can take accountability, or we can blame others. If you ever notice, and I made a video about this, if you ever notice, people who have a victim mentality, their life doesn't change much. It kind of stays in the same little circle. They're a victim. This happened. They got fired. They didn't get the job. It's everyone else's fault. Their kids are terrible. It's the teacher's fault. It's AI's fault. It's society's fault. It's the iPad's fault. Right. Whose fault it is absolutely not, is theirs. Nope, no way, no how. not happening. Me? What? No. We have to take accountability. And in this case, I'm not only taking accountability, I'm looking at it as a positive. Okay? I'm looking at it like I am now going to, pivot. I'm going to pivot in a different direction. And that's all. That's all I got. One love, everybody.